Today we are going to demonstrate how to send indicators over to Microsoft Defender. This means we will be going from the Cyware Intel Exchange over to Microsoft Defender. I'm going to simulate kind of a realistic approach, but know that this can be done automatically or manually. So for here, perhaps we get a report. We jump into this report. We see right away there's some good information to be had. There's the entire body of said report. I'm dealing with a vulnerability, something that's being actively exploited. As an analyst, this would intrigue me. So from here, I might want to jump into the actual relationships that I see. There's quite a few. So for me, the best way to spider down deeper into this is to expand into the threat investigations area. Right away, I can continue to build out my story by right-clicking any of these objects to analyze them deeper. But for the purposes of our story here, I want to ensure that we get IPs into my Defender instance as fast as possible for blocking. I know they're related to my report object. I know this is active exploitation. I need these blocked. So with a simple highlight, right-click, and the running of a rule, I'm able to do this. You'll see MS Defender is the name of this rule. I have now ran that. So to show you what just happened on the back end, I'll take us to the CTIX rules, where you will see a rule with the same exact name. Jumping into that, you'll see a very simple approach to this integration. MS Defender integration takes a simple action inside of a CTIX rule to be completed. There's a lot you can do. Decide exactly which instance you are signing into, a TLP, give it a specific title, specific description, decide if you're going to audit, block, allow, warn, or remediate in block, decide if you need this to be of low or high severity, decide if you need it to happen from a bypass perspective, what that duration would be, so forth and so on. And I actually really like this. There's an expiration built in, so perhaps if you want this to stay blocked in perpetuity, you would leave it blank. If you do want this block to be more of an instantaneous or a blank amount of days before it gets unblocked, you can do that. And then of course the ability for it to generate an alert or not. Now of course we want to see that information in our Defender instance. Notice you have our indicators. You'll see that there are two of them because our action did in fact have two mechanics to it, right? This is part of the functionality that we afford here at Cyware. Yes, I had two actions in my rule. One did the native CTIX to Defender integration. The other did a Playbook execution. That means it took the Cyware Intel operations playbooking mechanic and used that to serve as a middleman to get to Defender. I highlight this just to show how flexible Cyware is, right? We can do native integrations direct, or with any tool, we can use our connecting tool, the Cyware Orchestrate Intel operations piece, to also get the data there. So jumping back in Defender, there's one of the IPs, there's one of the IPs, and actually there's the other. So we have all of that information accounted for. You can see the information it pushes. You can see the 60-day expiration, my notes, my source, and the day that it was done. So getting the data to Defender is quite simple. Now, a cool mechanic to these rules is that you can also use it to unblock something, right? So we just had the audit action, but let's say if this was a block execution, obviously those IOCs would now be blocked. Now, outside of my expiration, I might want to unblock those indicators. To do that, I can just create an allow action, and I can undo my exact rule. So if I just jump back to those three IPs, I could run it again. Maybe I would change this to MS Defender allow, and with a simple execution, I have now stopped that blocking action and turned these into usable indicators.